An interview with myself about God.
What was the turning point in your life when you decided to change?
Well, I think like everything in life, it's a process, and it took a whole lot of events that led up to it and my decision to change the way I thought.
So it was not an instant decision.
Let's just say it didn't happen overnight, no.
Could you perhaps name the events leading up to it at all?
I think my transformation gradually started in 2016 when I was going through a divorce and I started questioning who I was. And after my mom and dad passed away in front of me, I started realizing how short life really was and how little time we have to make a difference in this world.
Were you such a bad person?
Well, as Jesus says, there is no such thing as a good person. And I realized that when I started doing things that were totally against the way I was brought up, totally against the way I would think. I knew I was doing wrong, yet I would do it anyway. And I think that was the turning point in my life when I realized that nothing good can come from this. And what kind of a legacy am I going to leave for anybody? And what example am I going to set? So that's when I decided I need to make a drastic change in my life, and it needed to be soon.
Was it easy changing?
No, not at all. In the beginning, it was very difficult for me to change. But the more I did it, the easier it became. As they say, practice makes perfect. And I can't describe it any other way. But you get into a pattern of doing things the right way, and it becomes habit. And that is the best thing I could have done. It changed my mindset. And you have to get to a point where you say to yourself, it's now or never. It's like a bad diet. You keep going back to the same food, expecting different results. It's the same thing.
Did all this improve your relationships with people?
Well, that's a very difficult but very relevant question. And I would say, with most people that cared about me, yes, significantly improved my relationship with them. But those that didn't really care, in fact, it made it worse. And that's the thing about when you change. Keep in mind that not everybody is on your side, and not everybody wants what's best for you. You know, some people want you to fit in a box that they see you in. They've seen you in that box from day one, and they do not want you to get out of it. It makes them feel uncomfortable.
Did you find you had to move on from some people?
My answer to that would be sadly yes. I found that I had to leave some people behind because what happens is they keep you back, they hold you back, and you cannot progress in your life if you've got people around you that don't actually want you to change. They prefer you like you were so they can see you in a certain way.
How do you find your walk with God now?
Well, just because I studied theology for quite a number of years, it didn't make it easy for me to open my Bible. In fact, I would avoid it at all costs. But now, because I'm creating content, I have to. It for sort of like pushes me in that direction. Every morning when I wake up, my first fruits are given to God. I go and I research about what I'm going to speak about. So therefore, it like gets me in a certain pattern. And it gets me to do what I should be doing. Look, as a child, I suffered from depression. I came out of a bad army environment, which also pushed the depression slightly further. But when I was 19, I made a decision to throw away my tablets for depression because I knew that if I carried on this trajectory, it would only get worse for me and I'd be dependent on medication for the rest of my life. I was told I would never get off medication, and that was just impossible. But it's not impossible. And I've realized you can do all things through God, which is a fact. I'm the living proof that you can.
So without being aware of it, you were overcoming life's obstacles step by step.
Yes, absolutely. That's why we need to examine ourselves. We need to wake up, look in the mirror every morning, and say to yourselves, what is there that I can do today that'll make a difference in the world? Because when you start making a difference in the lives of others, there comes that turning point where automatically you make a change in your own life.
Is there any advice you can give to others overcoming and conquering for Christ?
Absolutely. Never let anybody tell you that you cannot do something. I was told a lot in my life that I cannot do what I want to do. That you can't do. No, you're not capable of that. No, that you can't do. I mean, music is a prime example. My music might not be the best, but I was told because you can't read music, you're not going to be able to play it. It was absolute nonsense. If you got an ear and you can listen and you can persist and you can sit and practice, Anything is possible. It's the same with the life in Christ. The more you practice, the better you get at it. The much more of an overcomer you will be when you just sit down and apply yourself. So I would say application, apply yourself to your change, and you will make a difference. I mean, we can do anything through Christ. It says so in our Bible. And that's advice I want to leave you with today. You can do anything through Christ.
My last question is, what do you deem to be success?
I think that's a very good question. Success is not what many people think it is. Success is not coming home to a lot of money. Success is coming home to love and someone that cares about you. That is what success is. Success is having people that you love around you to share your life with. Money has got nothing to do with success. And most importantly, when you have that success with your family, it automatically translates into God. And when you have that relationship with God to start with, it translates into that relationship you now have with your family. So the two work hand in hand. Put God first, everything else will fall into place.
Thank you for the insights into a relationship with God. Have a blessed day all.
This is the truth with Pure Power Chord. The truth. The truth. The truth. The truth. The truth. Do you want to hear the truth? Do you want to hear the truth? Do you want to hear the truth? You want to hear the truth.